What's up, guys? Welcome back to Momentum Monday. My name is Steve Holbrook, and I will be your host today. I'm super fired up for today's topic. Today's podcast is Embrace the Hate. 6 reasons to thank your haters. You wouldn't believe how many people direct message me or reach out to me and ask me this question. Steve, do you have haters? And how do you deal with haters? Well, let me answer that quickly. Yes, I have haters. And it's so weird because the more successful I become, the more haters I gather. So I thought about it the other day, and one of my goals is to be able to fill an entire football stadium with all my haters, and they can just watch reruns of my podcasts and my IGTV, and they can just live with that for the rest of their life. That would be their absolute nightmare. But look, in all honesty, everybody's going to deal with it. So today's podcast, here's what you're going to get out of it. This is why you have to listen to the whole thing. We're going to talk about why you need haters to be successful. You got to embrace them. Not only do you want to thank them, but you want to embrace them because you need it to get to the highest level. But I'm also going to share with you my strategy. I have 3 main points that I use and I've used for the last 14 years on how I deal with haters. Because it's one thing to know that they exist and to be able to acknowledge them, that they're there, but it's a whole different ballgame to be able to deal with them. So this strategy has really helped me get from rock bottom in my business and my life all the way where I am today. So before we get into it, I always feel it's important to distinguish what a real hater is. I think a lot of people confuse what a hater is. Here's the deal. You're going to have some people in your life that actually aren't haters. There are some people that are close to you that probably love and care about you, but you're going to go out on a journey. You're going to try something new. You're going to do something different. And because of their lack of knowledge in that area, they're going to have some pretty tough questions for you, but they're doing it because they actually care about you and they actually love you. The other thing is we all have a past, and some people have a history of getting involved with things that doesn't end well, whether it's relationships or businesses. So if you have some people in your life trying to pull you back from something new that you're trying, just think of it as, are they do they have my best interest in mind, or are they just talking crap? Now, let me tell you what a hater is. A hater, you ready for this? Here's how you spot a hater. A hater always finds something to discredit you for. They're always trying to discredit an accomplishment of yours and mine, no matter how big and how small. And they always have this way of bringing the attention back onto them. That's why they like to slander people, because they're not getting attention. So these are the people that always like to have the spotlight back onto them. You know those people you'll be having a conversation with about something completely different, and then they just kind of circle back and they put all the attention on themselves? Yeah, those are the kinds of people. And lastly, this is the last way that I spot a hater. Their favorite subject in the world is other people. And not only is their favorite subject other people, they love to invite the people around them, even innocent bystanders, into the conversation so they can create this judge fest, and they can just get involved with a whole bunch of people and talk about other people. If you know people whose favorite subject is talking about other people, you know that person is a hater. It just is what it is. There's going to be these people all around you. You can't avoid it. They're going to be at your church. They're going to be at your work. There's some that are going to be in your family. There's going to be some at the corner store later. I mean, it just is what it is. Here's the key. You can't sit at home and feel sorry for yourself. This person's hating on me and this person's saying some bad things about me. If your strategy is to just sit at home and not talk to anybody and pray every night that God would just change human nature and everybody would start treating each other perfectly, I mean, come on. That's not going to happen. So we know that's not going to happen. So what's the other option? Here's the other option. You take the emotion that creates. Because yes, it's going to create emotion. You can't just say, don't let it affect you. Look, it's going to start to create some emotion. But if you can take that emotion and that energy that it causes you to feel, and if you can bottle it, and instead of redirecting it back at them and causing more problems, if you can learn to redirect it towards something that's actually going to help you improve your life, then you've become a master at dealing with haters. My whole game is trying to take energy that someone's putting on me, whether it's good or bad energy, and taking it and redirecting it towards something that's going to help me improve my life. That's the game that I play every single day. So let's get started. Embrace the hate. 6 reasons to thank your haters. Number 1, They bring out the emotion. They bring out the emotion. Man, they get me fired up. They get me fired up. They keep me on my toes. They keep me alert. Playing a game with emotion is so much better than playing the game with no emotion. I remember when I used to play hockey and we'd be on the ice, and then, when you least expect it, somebody comes up behind you and bam, they hit you hard into the boards. Well, now you go to the bench and you're sitting on the bench and you are fired up, right? You are fired up. You got two options though. The next shift you go out on the ice, you can cross-check that person from behind illegally into the boards, which would feel good momentarily, but you would probably take a 5-minute penalty. You'd put your team in a worse situation. It wouldn't be good overall. Or you can go back on the ice. You can remember which number hit you. And when the timing is right and they least expect it, you can line them up and hit them so hard that you put them through the ice. But you don't get a penalty for it. But what you did is you took that emotion and you redirected it towards something that didn't cause more harm to your team, but it actually impacted the game because now your team got more fired up. Look, it's going to happen. Let it bring the emotion out. Let it keep you alive. It reminds you that you're alive. And I get fired up when I get a hater. I just get more alert and I get more aware and I'm ready to go. Number 2, they make you reevaluate yourself. They make you reevaluate yourself. The first thing I do when I get a hater or I get a hardcore critic, I just kind of take a step back and I just kind of reevaluate myself. Is there something positive to learn from this? Is there something that I could have done different? Can I get better? And I'll answer those questions. And you know what? A lot of times, indirectly, there's something that I get to improve about myself or my delivery or my message through somebody who's actually just trying to hate on me. If you want to be successful, the most successful people that I know have the highest level of self-awareness and self-reflection in the world. The highest levels of self-reflection and the highest levels of self-awareness. It's so important to be self-aware. And when you get a hater, it's just yet another opportunity for you to reflect and ask yourself, am I on the right track? Am I doing good things? And if you can answer all those questions and you can check all those boxes, you forget about it and you move forward. You're on to the next. Number 3. This is the third reason that you should thank your haters. Because you now feel the need to prove them wrong. Anytime that I can get another log from my mental fire, that excites me. When someone trash talks me, right? Just like when someone trash talks a member of an NFL team or an NBA team or an NHL team, what do those teams do? They cut it out of the newspaper and they put it where? On the bulletin board. Every time you get a hater, use it as a bulletin board material. It's another log on your fire. I mean, you're not going to play the game that day just to prove that person wrong, but I'll tell you what, it's another reason for you to work extra hard. It's another reason for you to finally get up at 5 or 5:30 in the morning and get that workout in and read your goals and go to work. Yet one more person to prove wrong. It's awesome. And the more of those that you have, the more it should fire you up. It's always an opportunity to look at your habits and say, look, am I in check? Am I in check? Number 4, it proves you must be doing something right. People don't hate on someone who's sitting idle. It just doesn't happen. It shows that you're on the move. It shows that you are moving away from somebody or something towards someone or something. And it's the people that you're leaving behind that feel insecure in their life, and they're the ones that are going to hate on you. They're the ones that are going to pull you back. So this is validation that you are moving in the right direction. So embrace it. It's important. And don't worry about it. Number 5, keeps you grounded. It keeps you grounded. Look, it's so easy to let ego get in the way. As you're becoming more successful, as you're climbing the ranks, as you're making more money, it's easy to let your ego get big. We all do it. But when you get a hater, it reminds you that, hey, you're just a human being. You're not God's gift to humans. We're all created the same. And we got to stay humble. We got to stay humble because you know what? We're all here to help each other. We're not better than anybody else. We got to keep our feet on the ground. Yes, our head can be in the clouds, but we got to keep our feet on the ground. And when I get a hater and it humbles me, it's also another opportunity for me to look at my life and ask myself this very important question. Are there areas in my life where I'm showing up as a hater in their life? Are there people that I'm being discouraging to? Because we've all been a hater at one point in our life. Am I showing up in areas of my life like that person is showing up in my life? And you know what? Sometimes you look at it and go, wow, okay, I can get better over here. Now I really know how that makes me feel because I'm feeling it from this side, but I'm giving it on this side. Wow, that's a great wake-up call. You guys, if you do this properly, these are all opportunities to reflect and grow. Number 6, my last point. Man, it makes success feel so much better. It makes success feel so much better. You don't need to brag. You don't need to boast about your success. Your haters are following your journey. They're hanging on to everything that you say. You might have already blocked a few. I'll tell you what they've done. They've already started a second account and they're combing through your stuff. They watch all your stuff. Even long after you've forgotten about them, they are thinking about you in some cases for the rest of your life. And it weighs on them because they know that they're being terrible or they're a bad person. They know it. But they're addicted to it. They're addicted to judging people. They're addicted to it. And they're out there judging and hating on people. That's just, they're going to spend the rest of their life doing it. Haters love to hate, man. So look, just acknowledge it. They're the ones that have to deal with it. Your pleasure causes them pain. And as long as you don't try and make it worse, look, to acknowledge it, it's going to be part of the process. It's going to be a part of the process. So, here's the deal. Now we know we need haters. Those are 6 reasons to thank them, basically, for making you better. Let me tell you the 3 ways that I deal with this, because it's not fun to get a hater. It's not. It sucks, right? You call up your best buddy and be like, hey, look, I just got trashed again on this platform, or I got this email, or you wouldn't believe what this person said in my face. It's not great. But here's 3 things that I've been doing for a long time. Number 1, ignore the haters. Just ignore them. Listen to this. Haters want attention. They're hating on you because they're jealous. The intention is not on them. So if you feed it to them, if you feed them attention, it's going to feed their addiction. But if you starve them of it, it'll destroy them. Starve the attention from them, it will destroy them. You know what I like to do? I like to say nothing. I used to say things back and, it felt good for a day or two. Now I say nothing. And you know what? It starves them out. It starves them out and it destroys them. So the number 1 way that I deal with it is I ignore them. Number 2 is I feel important. I feel important. Hey, nobody hates a dead man. Nobody hates a dead woman, okay? You can't stand up for something without standing up to someone. Every time you stand for something, right, you're standing up to somebody. And you know what? People take everything personally, right? When you start winning, for some reason, people start feeling like they're losing. Even if that's not your intention, even if you don't even know these people, you winning makes them feel like they're getting beaten. And when people get beaten and people feel like they're losing, it starts to cause that hate. You ever notice that haters only hate people that are in front of them? They never hate people that are behind them. So if you got someone that's hating on you, look, that's a compliment. They feel like you're ahead of them, because if they weren't hating on you, they would feel like you're behind them. Take it as a compliment. And the last thing I do to deal with haters is I maintain my focus. The first thing my dad taught me when I was driving a car is he said, look, Steven, you got to look where you want to go. Your car will go where your eyes go. If you stare in the ditch all the time, you're going to hit the ditch. Your haters, that's the ditch. That's the weeds. Don't stare at those things, because if you stare at it, you focus on it, that's where you're going to go. Do you know that the only people that have time to give commentary about other people are the ones that are watching the game? You can't play the game and listen to the noise of the crowd at the same time. You're either listening to the noise of the crowd or you're playing the game. You can't do both. Go talk to Tom Brady. Go talk to a successful sports player, right? Super Bowl, right? 3rd quarter, 4th quarter, crowd is going crazy. You almost can't even hear yourself think. But you talk to any of those quarterbacks, they'll tell you the same thing. They'll say, you know what? You block out all the noise and you get in the zone and you focus on the task on hand. And that's what I do. That's what I do. I ignore them. I allow it to make me feel important. And then lastly, I maintain my focus. Look, guys, the higher that you want to fly, the bigger change that you're trying to make, whether it's in your health, whether it's in your relationship, whether it's in your business, the bigger the move you're trying to make, the more people that are going to try and tear you down. That's part of life. So instead of trying to avoid people, instead of getting extremely disappointed all the time when this stuff happens, learn to embrace it and learn to push through it. I hope you guys got some value out of this episode. Look, this stuff's all free. I don't charge anybody for it. This is not my income source, but what I'm doing is I want to help people because I see people struggle all the time with these things. So if you enjoyed today's podcast, all I ask is share it with a friend. Share it with a friend. And if you loved it, go on iTunes or go on Spotify, give me a review. Give me a rating. It actually goes a long way if you would take 2 minutes to do that. It actually goes a long way. So I appreciate all of you guys. I appreciate everything that you do. I appreciate every message, every email, every text, every phone call, all the feedback. I appreciate all the reposts on stories. I love it. I love every single one. I read every single comment. I look at every single story that I was tagged in. I try and repost as many stories as I can, especially involving Momentum Monday. So if you want to grow your following, tag me in a story and I just might repost you that day. So I appreciate you guys. Have an awesome day. And remember, embrace the hate. We'll see you soon.